call me a customer service rep all day long. I'm happy to come up on stage, give me a reward. I'm kind of proud of what it means to be a good customer service representative. But call me a servant.
That's different.
I don't know what I think about that. I do a double take and go, I'm not sure I like that so much. So what's really going on here? I think the fact is we can understand that we can do customer service and not actually serve. And so because of that, we have to be aware that just because customer service may be in our job title, it may be in our job description, it's not necessarily something I've made personal and put into my life. And so the fact is when I'm serving and I'm taking the heart of a servant, I'm actually doing the truest form of customer service.
So, Mitch, it seems to me that if I'm in the business of helping families secure their financial future, that's my job. The number one assignment in my mind is, how do I build trust? In other words, if I ask you to give some of your assets to me and go away and invest them, I have to find a way for you to trust me to do that well.
Sure. Absolutely. 100%. I think trust is a critical factor in any financial decision that people are making, whether we're a consumer or a professional, or we find ourselves in both roles at times. We may be shopping at Target as a consumer, and we need to understand the product or the person who's selling that to us, or maybe we're the professional on the other side and we're offering a service to someone. When it's related to financial decisions, trust is essential. I don't know anyone who wings it when it comes to their financial decisions. Trust is absolutely a critical factor regarding finances.
Yeah, as I hear you say that, it's even broader than that, isn't it? I have a dental appointment next week. When I sit down in that awful chair, I got to be able to trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
Break it down a bit for us. What are the components of building trust?
Well, I think you and I can do that together. I think the traditional ways that we might list, how do we build trust? Well, what comes to mind for me, experience, knowledge, credentials, a sense of achievement. When I do the work over time to know my job and become an expert at it, then that does establish trust, right, in my relationships with clients and people that I'm trying to win over in my business.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of favorable outcomes, of having some experience with you. In other words, I don't think I should expect to be trusted the first time I meet you.
Sure.
You need to see performance, you need to see outcomes, then you can begin to trust me.
And I think productivity, just a track record of time where people who are winning and they're really good at their job and being successful for their clients, that goes a long way in establishing trust. But have you ever thought about serving, right? To serve someone builds trust. I think one of the most effective ways that we build trust with people, and sometimes the most overlooked way, is to serve. In fact, I make a correlation in my own life that the people I trust have a heart to serve. In fact, I think the people I trust the most serve the most. So if I want to be trusted, maybe I need to serve. If I want to be trusted more, then maybe I need to serve more. I heard serving defined this way. I know there's a few ways to define it, but I really like this definition because I think it's the best way that I can apply serving in my business and in my life. And that is this, to act in the best interest of another or of others. And I think what I like about this definition so much is, first of all, it's a decision. I get to act. I get to make the decision to serve or to be served, right? I get to step into that. But beyond that is this understanding that when I'm serving, the real litmus test is it's not in my interest, but it's in the interest of someone else. So my agenda, there's no strings attached, there's no ego. I think the temptation for us sometimes is we can act like we're serving, but we really have an ulterior motive tied to it. So to act in the interest or the best interest of another, I think is a really good definition.
It keeps the focus on the other and my motive and my intent.
Exactly.
Can you break it down just a bit, in other words, into something that's practical? How do I serve?
Yeah, well, I think one of the first things that comes to my mind, I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can serve, but for me, I have to put serve back in customer service. You know, I think customer service is one of those terms that we're all familiar with. It's so common, it's assumed. Today, any business that wants to be successful understands customer service. In fact, the slogans that we make, you know, the catchphrases, the taglines, the training days that we build all of our staff training days
the commercials,
around.
the customer comes first at this car dealership.
Yeah. So customer service, it's this familiar word that we're all familiar with. It's assumed, but I think with that we can sometimes lose the heart of what it means to be in customer service, which is to serve. You know, you have these familiar words, customer service, and yet this unfamiliar or unpopular word that's embedded into that at the heart of it, which is to serve. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anyone who's in customer service isn't serving, but here's what I can say. Call me a customer service rep all day long. I'm happy to come up on stage, give me a reward. I'm kind of proud of what it means to be a good customer service representative. But call me a servant.
That's different.
I don't know what I think about that. You know, I do a double take and go, I'm not sure I like that so much. So what's really going on here? I think the fact is we can understand that we can do customer service and not actually serve. And so because of that, we have to be aware that just because customer service may be in our job title, it may be in our job description, it's not necessarily something I've made personal and put into my life. And so the fact is when I'm serving and I'm taking the heart of a servant, I'm actually doing the truest form of customer service.
So Mitch, it seems to me what you're saying is if my job requires people to trust me, then one way to get at that objective is to serve them.
Yeah.
And one way to serve is to make the relationship and what I do personal to them.
Exactly.